Hi, and welcome to the Indie Music Pocast, the podcast for independent musicians and other audio professionals. We're your hosts. I'm Matt Denton, also known as Mojo of Ragged Birds Music. I'm a Bay Area mix engineer and recording artist. And Douglas Reynolds of Resonance Mastering, a mastering engineer in Bloomington, Illinois.
Welcome to Indie Music Podcast, episode 228. Tonight, Matt and Doug catch up after a couple weeks away. They talk about guitars and hardware, broken studio monitors, vacations, and the fact that for the first time in the history of Indie Music Podcast, a week of episodes was missed. Enjoy the show. Hey.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going good. Long time.
It really feels like a long time. Has it been a long time?
My long-lost podcast partner.
Oh, my God. How are you, man?
I'm good.
I know. We took a break there. I had a vacation, and you had some studio woes, and damn. Yeah, it's been a while. Even though we chit-chatted on Slack and whatever, it still feels like ages.
We missed an episode.
We did. It was the first time in our, year and a half history. We missed a week.
We did. I haven't quite recovered from that yet. It's just, I've been asleep, laying awake at night, no sleep.
When I went to edit that one episode over the weekend, I was like, how do I do this again? But, after a week tooling around LA, it's like, how do I use a computer again? Not really, but.
Yeah. I was scrambling to get everything back together. We had flooding in our area.
Yeah, I saw the picture in your backyard. It was like right up, up in your business.
Yeah, literally. And we stayed dry though, but as a precaution, everything got taken down and moved to higher ground. And that meant completely setting back. Maybe it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's a really big deal with all the cabling and everything.
Well, yeah, because your studio's in the basement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have basements out here.
Yep.
But you had storms too. I mean, like you said that there was like the power outages and stuff.
Yeah.
Was that the same weekday? Same event?
Yeah. That was the series of storms for a few days that we had. And the previous we're near a stream, and the record on that stream was about like 13 feet, 8 inches in depth. And we hit like 15 feet, 6 inches or something like that.
Well, that's a big deal.
Yeah. We had 6 inches of rain in like an hour.
Oh,
or something like
man.
that. Yeah. It was crazy.
That is crazy. That's like unheard of.
Tornadoes and everything, and power outages.
And you're not exaggerating. You mean real tornadoes.
Real tornadoes. Yep. That's why we have basements.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we have.
What do you have? You have, what's it called? Caliche?
Well, we have earthquakes and we have fires. Yeah. Oh, the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's clay. It's like you don't want to be trying to plant anything during the summer because you need a pickaxe or a backhoe or something. You got to wait for the ground to be wet.
So the only casualties, my desktop monitors have bit the dust. And that,
I know, I'm so sad about that. As my kids would say, RIP your monitors.
Yeah.
But you tried though, right? I mean, you replaced.
Yeah,
you checked
I may not be done yet.
The capacitors.
They're turning more into, hey, let's learn about how powered monitors work, kind of thing. So, but I'm really not good when I get down into like the small individual component levels of electronics. That's really something.
Yeah,
I've
same
never
here. I can replace a fuse and I can like unsolder something if it's clear that it got blown out. But
yeah, I mean, if somebody points to it and goes, "That's what's bad," then I'm good. But trying to diagnose those things, I don't have that.
Do you have a good repair shop nearby you can take it to and say, "Hey"?
I don't think so. Those sort of went by the wayside for some reason, like decades ago.
Yeah, it's a lost art.
Yeah, I think electronics are largely considered to be disposable.
Right. It's too bad.
But other than that, everything's in good shape, and a little bit of an improvement in my podcast setup. And
because you had to take it all away, you had the opportunity to reconsider how you're going to put it all back. So I know you remounted
it's actually it's different now.
You remounted your microphone for sure.
I did. It's on this. It's coming down from the ceiling. It is super trick.
That's so cool. I want to do the "Are you ready to rumble?" thing. I wanna suspend mine from the ceiling with a, I don't know, like a recoil cord that I can just pull it down.
That's neat because I can move it around. I can grab it and move it around. I mean, it's using it the way that it's supposed to be used.
Yeah.
And it's not in the way of my monitor anymore, which is nice. So now I get to sit here and I can actually see my voice recording waveform.
Yeah, I didn't know you had that problem before.
Yeah, it was right in the middle of my monitor when I was recording. So.
Speaking of microphones, I didn't even mention it, and now I forget which episode it was. A recent episode, I actually switched it up and used my Slate microphone to record instead of my Lewitt.
Yeah,
and I kept meaning to mention it to see if you could tell a difference, and now I forgot what episode it was.
I did not catch it. It's hard to tell when we're conversing on Zoom, you know?
Right.
I mean, I did go back and listen afterward, but I was listening more for audio vocal mess ups and things like that.
Sure.
The initial few seconds of, hey, how's that sound? And listening for any background problems and things like that, you know? But yeah, I didn't catch it. Well, that's cool. Which mic, I don't know what you actually call those, like module or whatever, did you use?
I believe I used the Sony 800. It's like a modern reproduction of a vintage Sony. I think it added a nice fatness.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That may have gotten all washed out in my post because I kind of process everything a certain way in post. So maybe it didn't make a difference at all. But it was fun to try out though.
Let's see.
Oh, but speaking of changes, you have a new guitar on the way.
I do. It's going to be here tomorrow. It's not a finished guitar. It's just a body and neck. It's a neck through, and it's completely unfinished, no hardware or anything. It is coming with a neck on it. It's a headless guitar, and it's kind of a Strandberg copy.
Are you going to call it Ichabod?
I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it's not going to be Ichabod.
Okay.
But and so I'm going to build this thing. I think probably I have not made the decision yet, but I'm probably going to take the neck off, or not the neck off, but the fingerboard off the neck, because right now it's a 24 3/4 to 25 1/2 multi-scale.
Okay.
Which is 24 3/4. That's basically a Gibson on the high string to a Fender on the low string.
Yeah.
And I think I want to go something more like maybe 25 1/2 on the high string to 26 1/2 and get a little bit more low end range on it.
Interesting.
Something like that. But yeah, it's multi-scale fan fret, and it also has a nut on it right now, and I'm kind of want to do a 0 fret, and so that's another reason to take the fingerboard off, because I may end up redoing that, do a 0 fret with just a nut behind that for string alignment. And but yeah, I'll have the whole thing to build out over time and figure out what pickups, what bridge system. I'm not going to do a trem on this one. It's going to be a hardtail.
Yeah.
And the tuning bridge it's going to be a tuning bridge because it's headless. And
right.
There's a lot of different ones out there and of different qualities. So I want to spend some time finding out what I want. I may actually just order hardware from Strandberg. I'm not sure. I mean,
yeah, maybe, or I'm sure there's copies of that.
There is. It's they're all in the same price range. So it's and the cheap stuff, you get what you pay for.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
And the bridge and intonation and tuning problems and things like that, I don't want to mess around too much in that area. So I'm trying to find a good deal, but I want to make sure it's, a really good piece of hardware.
Yeah.
And actually,
do you have an idea?
Oh, it's a 7-string too, by the way.
Oh, wow. Do you have an idea what you're going to do for pickups? I was going to ask you that.
Well, my inclination is to go with, what are they called?
Seymour Duncan's?
No. They'll be like the active pickups, and I can't think of the name of them right now.
Not EMGs.
Shall I Google?
Lace?
No. Not EMGs, but let's see.
Not Seymour Duncan, not EMGs.
What's that guy's name? Well, Greg Koch uses them.
Yeah, you better look it up.
I am. Fishman Fluence.
Oh, see, I don't know those.
So that's maybe something like that. I'm not sure which model. They've got the classics and they've got moderns. And I just been doing a bunch of like listening, mostly YouTube videos, get on the headphones and stuff like that to try and get an idea of tones and try to find guitar players that are playing in the styles that I kind of like, and hear what those pickups sound like. In some of these tests, though, there were some passive pickups that I actually thought if I did a blind test, I liked them better.
Yeah.
And I'm forgetting the name of those now too.
Well, the ones I've been curious about are the lace ones, which are they're weird looking passive pickups, but they're like high output.
Yeah,
and
DiMarzio's, that's the ones.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be a couple humbuckers, and the DiMarzio humbuckers sounded so good. They had something about them. The Fishman are nice though because you have multiple sounds per pickup with the combinations of both pickups. So there's like all kinds of tone options.
Are you doing like a split knob?
Yeah. Both pickups can split, and then they have like 3 different tones each that you can switch from, and they're pretty high tech.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they don't use the typical magnet like you would expect. So it's a redesign of how pickups been made, and it's different than it has been in 50 years.
Huh. Yeah, that's the thing about the lace, and that's why I was so curious about those. I don't know anybody that uses them, but I've heard them and I've seen them, and they don't look like normal pickups, and they don't sound like normal pickups, but they're
like Tosin and Bassi and Greg Koch are a couple notables. If you go Googling around, Greg Koch is an amazing guitar player, and so is Tosin Abasi. But if you go Googling around or looking on YouTube for those guys for Fishman pickups, there's a bunch of videos.
Cool. Yeah, the ones I have are ceramic magnet Wilkinsons that I like.
Oh, okay.
They're not known for their pickups necessarily. They're known for more like bridges and tuners and stuff. But yeah, they do make
I had pickups. A Wilkinson bridge. I had it on a guitar I won.
Oh yeah.
I won it in a contest. I have since sold it, but it was a Dan Electro with a Wilkinson bridge.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
It was a really cool guitar, but it wasn't anything that I really needed. I was like, I think I'm going to turn this into studio equipment. So I did that.
Well, you have a pretty good collection of guitars there, actually, don't you?
It's not bad. It'll be better tomorrow.
Or when that one gets finished.
Yeah, I've got a couple jazz guitars, and I've got a Strat and a Tele, and I've got a Ibanez Sabre. I've had them all for a long time. I don't really have new guitars, so it's gonna be nice to get some, a new piece of guitar hardware in my hands. I've never had a 7-string before. I've never played a multi-scale fretboard before, so this is all about just trying to do this thing, put it together, and have fun with it, and experience something new, and see how it goes playing a 7-string. I'm told that on multi-scale on fan frets that initially it's just kind of awkward. Within about 5-10 minutes, you kind of just forget about the fact that they're fan frets, and they're ergonomic, So
yeah,
depending on where you're playing on the neck and those angles of the frets work well with the angle of your hands, So I'm looking forward to seeing how that feels, and hopefully I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. I've seen them. I've seen pictures of them, but I've never actually seen one in person or held one. So yeah, I'm curious to hear how that plays out, as it were.
But yeah, I kind of wanted to get I was like, I want a guitar that's really like totally set up and designed for fusion, and on rock kind of fusion thing, and which I somewhat have a little bit of that in the Ibanez Sabre, but as it's approaching 30 years old now.
Oh, wow.
It's going to need to go on the bench soon for new frets and maybe pickups and stuff like that too. And I love the neck on that thing. It's really, really flat. I don't know what it is. It's maybe like a 20-inch radius or something like that. very flat and very narrow. It's not a deep or thick neck at all. And it's probably one of the favorite necks I've ever had. It's really nice. It's so much different than like a Stratocaster or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like Ibanez are kind of known for their fast necks.
Yeah.
That's why they were so heavily played in the late 80s, early 90s by shred metal guitarists. Yeah, I'm certainly not on the market for a new guitar. I'm at the point where I'm feeling like I need to really just kind of return and play the guitars that I have. I've kind of been I've taken a break from them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Working on other stuff.
Yeah. Obviously I was shopping studio monitors today.
Right.
Good Lord. I mean, and I don't know what I want. I don't really, 5-inch or less woofer on a monitor. I'm actually considering maybe the Avantones, which we've talked about before, or the Oratones.
But you were looking at getting like big, not near fields. Like these are your near
for my
fields that
mains
blew up, right? And
No, these are just my small desktop ones, and which I use those for a secondary listening platform, so mastering. And oftentimes I start out mastering on those because I can focus into the mids and the body of the song, and then I'll take it out to my mains where I can focus on the highs and lows more. And so the meat and bones of the track I'll often work on the studio monitors first, and then take it out and refine it.
Right. Well, it's hard to beat these Calis. They're
the IN5s. I was looking at those today, and something along that line. Maybe I'm considering like the Genelec, the 8010s, the smallest ones they have. There's something along that lines. I don't want to any bigger than like the 8s are way too big. Those would be in the way. I don't need that. So I'm just looking for something on the desktop that's going to be for. I use them a lot for like confidence listening too.
Sure.
It's just another set of speakers to listen on, but they're not my primaries. So it's not where I want to put.
Yeah, I think 5 and 6 is a sweet spot. I think 8. Once you get to 8, they're not really near fields anymore.
No, I mean, I've got the room to put 8s in here, but I don't need them, because if I may as well just listen on my mains,
right,
and
exactly.
There's some smaller JBLs, the Pro Series, that are priced really reasonably that have been getting good reviews. So maybe something like that.
Huh.
There's so many options, but they're also expensive.
There's always the KRKs.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't know. Maybe it's my own.
I hear different things.
Yeah.
Some people love them. That's all I have to say. That's all I'm going to say about that.
The Focal 40s, the small ones.
People like the Adams. People like the Focals.
Yeah, the Adams.
Warren,
to be honest with you, whenever I go looking at Adams, I'm like, I should just get the Calis. If I'm going to get Adams, I may as well get for the price.
Right.
I don't know. Den Audio is another one. They've got the Lid or LOID series, and their smaller one there is really nice.
I don't know those.
Yeah,
I kind of stopped paying attention once I got mine. I stopped shopping, obviously. So
yeah, I never stopped shopping.
And you got a candy collection.
I got candy. Well, yeah, I should. I don't know. I'm not going to go where I was thinking.
I want candy.
So let's see what else is new, man. How's social going?
That's I don't know. I was kind of sort of taking a break from it because, like I said, I was on vacation, so I didn't do DIY music chat last week. I actually did freelance chat. That's a great chat on Twitter. Freelance chat. It's on Thursday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific, and you can learn a lot of stuff about entrepreneurism, solopreneurism, freelancing. It's a really positive group of people. A lot of writers, a lot of copywriters in that group, but smart people. Now you know, I've noticed in the last few days that you have started doing some video on social. I saw you on Facebook and on Instagram doing some quick video stuff. Is that new? Is that something you're running up the flagpole?
It is new. I have decided to establish a TikTok presence.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
I have definitely thought about that and decided I don't have time for that.
Well,
not right now.
I could have done this on Instagram probably, but TikTok just it's really easy.
Yeah.
So, and I like that because I didn't want to do something that takes a bunch of time and production effort and stuff like that. This is like point my phone at me or whatever and talk or do whatever. It's awkward. I'm not comfortable. Yeah, but hopefully I get a little better at it and stuff like that. But I thought I'd just do some stuff that hopefully, is something of use for someone else.
Yeah.
I'm going to show some shorts on mastering.
Don't show your shorts.
Briefs or boxers, whatever. But, and just show people how I do some things and what kind of stuff I'm doing it on. And I've had
That's
some
cool,
people, and that kind of stems from some people who contacted me wanting to know more about the mastering process and stuff like that. And
yeah. And
so I was like, well, tell you what, teach me about TikTok and I'll teach you about mastering stuff on TikTok.
Oh, funny.
So anyway, yeah, I got a couple tips and tricks on TikTok.
Well, I will say that it does seem like you can make a TikTok and then share it multiple places, so you can kind of get more mileage out of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like actually easier than anywhere else. And the share's a lot nicer than Instagram. It's one of the things I don't like. You share from Instagram and it's like you share a link to Instagram post, and
right.
which, and on TikTok, you get the video, you get to share it around. You can, if I shared an Instagram from TikTok, it actually shares the video, as you saw. And not a link to TikTok. And I like that. That's a lot better feature in my opinion than what.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know that your hair was so long and curly.
No?
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Well, COVID, I haven't had a haircut in a year. And I decided I'm not going to get a haircut. So we'll just see how far this goes.
That's funny. It's cute. It's definitely not like your Zoom picture that I see every week.
No, I reserve the right to cut it if I have to for an important meeting or something.
Oh, yeah. But pretty soon you'll be able to pull it back and put it in a ponytail.
Yeah, it's actually almost, the back I can definitely get in a ponytail now. The front's not quite there. Like a hair tie in combination with one of those little springy things that hold your hair down. They're kind of my son got me one. He's like, hey, everybody's wearing these now.
A headband?
Yes, it's actually just a piece of wire, a little spring wire, and and you just put it on. It's got it look like has a little shape on it, like zigzags, and you just slide it up, and it holds your hair down, pull your hair back.
I am not familiar.
So sounds it's like a nice transition piece of hardware to hold the front down until it gets long enough to get tied back in the hair tie.
Okay,
works good.
That's cool.
But I wake up like with Einstein head every morning now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one of my last social posts was my beach hair. Because when I go in the ocean, my hair gets so curly. It goes from straight to curly in like a minute flat. It's kind of funny. Especially if it's long, which it is. Ish. But yeah, missing the ocean already. It was a trip. I mean, because I more or less grew up in the San Diego area, so going down visiting LA, spending some time at the beach was very nice.
Yeah, I really liked that area. I enjoyed the beach. The water's still too cold for me, though, man.
It's warmer than Tahoe water, and that's the only water we've been in the last few years.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a Gulf Coast person, but
okay,
because I like my water a little warmer than the Pacific, and definitely warmer than the Atlantic.
Yeah, but it's July. I mean, it was enough.
It's still 58 freaking degrees, man.
I don't
Maybe
know
60.
I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't anywhere near 65, but it was nice.
Yeah.
And the waves were strong.
I mean, when you have to wear a bodysuit to go surfing in the summertime, the water's cold.
I agree. And all the surfers did seem to have, their spring suits on, but I didn't feel like the water was that cold.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said,
I guess maybe if you grew up in that area, you'd be tougher than what I am.
Well, I'm just thinking that for them who go out there all the time, maybe the water was cold. For me, who's used to snow melt Tahoe, it felt pretty good.
Yeah. I like Tahoe too. That was the bumpiest flight coming in to Reno, Lake Tahoe, right over the mountains, and they dropped down into the airport.
Sure.
You ever made that flight?
No, never flown. It's a 3-hour drive to Tahoe for us.
Oh man,
I've never flown. I can only imagine.
That one that made me pucker more than any flight I've ever been on.
I can only imagine because those mountains are steep. That drive from trekking,
I mean, we must have had hard. Drop like 100, 200 feet, then back up and come over the mountains, and then it was like a rapid descent to get down to altitude for landing, and man, it was crazy.
Yeah, I'll bet. That's an interesting area.
But I do like that area.
Yeah, it's fun.
Actually, at one time I got to tour there's an Amazon facility there.
Oh.
And got to tour
in Reno?
And see their in Reno, just outside of, and got to, at the time anyway, it's a long time ago, and they were just starting with like the computerized and robot shipping and package handling systems and stuff at the time.
Cool. And what was?
But the rest of the time was hanging out at the hotel and gambling.
Yeah.
I was there on business.
Okay.
That must have been, gosh, that was a long time ago. That was in like maybe around 2000, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even know when I'll be back. The last couple of times we were in that area, it was for band competitions, like regional jazz band competitions for my kids. And naturally they're not in that anymore. So we would stay at like Circus with a whole bunch of middle school or high school kids. and I'd have to chaperone some, but once they were off in the arcade, me and the other chaperones could go have some margaritas.
Yeah.
And some steaks and hang out, and it was pretty chill. Interesting place. I did not shoot anybody just to watch them die, but it was an interesting place.
Well, yep, I've been there, and and Vegas. I've been to Vegas one time, so I don't get out much, But
yeah. I spent an hour in Vegas. That's the only time I've ever been.
Oh, really? I spent like 3 or 4 days there, I think.
Oh, okay.
That was like conferences and stuff. It was fun.
I was there for an hour, and I ate at the buffet, and I won $50 in quarters at a slot machine, and that was my Vegas experience.
Nice. I spent 20, lost it, but I had some of the best Indian food I've ever had there on the Strip.
Oh,
it was really
nice.
Good. Then went and saw that fountain display.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what hotel that's at, but that was really
the Mirage. Is that?
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. That was really cool.
I did see that too. Did not see the White Tigers. Another interesting place.
I didn't see that either.
Oh, but yeah, it's cool that things are kind of opening up a bit and people are traveling again. This was our first family vacation since 2019, so we kind of spent more than we could afford, but it was worth it.
Yeah, just waiting to see how this all pans out. But I guess I don't know what to trust. Do I trust the vaccination? I mean, I've had the flu vaccination before, and I got the flu. So
right.
I don't know. But I guess there's a peace of mind, and the places are opening back up, and that's a good thing. And just hopefully there won't be some bad turn of events as a result of it. But just keeping my fingers crossed that everybody stays healthy.
Yeah, my take on it is that Pandora's box is open. I don't think they're going to make people lock down again because people have been waiting too long to get out. People are still wearing masks when they need to. Everybody else is vaccinated, and everybody who's not is either going to get it or be what they're calling now community immunity is going to save some people, but people with the vaccination are going to get mild cases, and it's just going to become the same thing that happened in 1918. It's just going to become another seasonal flu.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's all I got, man.
Yeah, well, we didn't really have a topic. We just needed to catch up because it's been a while, and so just wanted to see what is going on.
Yeah, just trying to get back in a rhythm now, and I got to try and get over the horrendous fact that we missed an episode.
The self-flagellation for missing a week.
Well, it's kind of like the broken window syndrome.
I think that our 3 listeners will forgive us. We can win them back one at a time. We have to.
Yeah. Well, Jack, Stacy, and Rob, we really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks. Baskets of muffins are on their way to your houses right now as we speak.
Yeah, so let's keep it small because we can keep sending out those baskets of muffins as long as we don't get too many listeners.
That's right. Well, Jack, Stacy, and Rob, please like and subscribe and write us a review on iTunes.
Right on. All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Have a great week.
All right.
Bye. Oh, too funny. Well, that wraps up another episode of the Indie Music Podcast. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends, or just leave us a review on iTunes if you like what you've heard. Find our social links and episode guide at indiemusiccast.com. Until next time, keep creating.